You see, there are two kinds of law. This is a subject I love. I've been talking about this for years. There are two kinds of law on the earth that rule the whole world, but most people don't know that. All over the world, all governments are ruled by what is called civil law. Civil law goes back to a Latin word, civili, which goes back to the word illy. Oh God, I mean, we could go on for hours on this stuff. Civil law, which is called in all countries the law of the land. So you'll say, well, you can't do that because that's against the law of the land. The law of the land is civil law, Roman civil law, the law of the land. But there is a second law which also operates all over the earth identical. It's called UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. That is the law of God in the world of business. I don't care if you're in Japan, in Africa, in China, in Istanbul, Turkey. If you have a company, if you have a corporation, if you are doing business where you buy and sell and make money, you are operating on this earth under something called UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. Because if all countries work on a different commercial code, then nobody could do business with anybody. You couldn't trust Japan to pay you. Japan couldn't trust America to pay them for the cars, because everybody has their own laws. Under the Caesars of Rome, they established under Caesar that all nations in the empire that do business, everybody plays on a level field. If you do business in Africa with China, you pay them. And if Africa does business with American companies, you pay them. You pay. Whatever it is you're doing business, you don't mess around. The most severe law in this world is called UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. It's the Bible of business on the earth. Uniform Commercial Code. Uniform Commercial Code is based directly on Vatican canon law, on the Roman canon law. Consequently, when a ship pulls into port, it pulls in and stops, and it's called in its berth. The ship is now in its berth. Because it is on the law of the high seas, or commercial maritime, UCC commercial law rules the seas. So when the ship pulls into its berth, the first thing the captain must do is to present a certificate of manifest to the port authorities, which means that the port authorities need to know how much is on this ship that you're bringing into our country and our economy. How many TVs, how many cars, whatever you're bringing, how much you're bringing into our economy. So you have to have a certificate of manifest of what is the value of your ship here. What are you doing? Consequently, when you are born, you come out of your mother's water. Therefore, you must have a birth certificate, a certificate of manifest, because you are a corporation-owned item. You are a human resource. This goes back to the German Nazi concept that every human coming out of their mother's water must be birthed. And therefore you have to have a certificate of manifest to see how much this individual is going to make for us.
Yeah, but come here. Finally, how many years have we been waiting to get to this place? Here it is, the famous Georgia Guidestones. I mean, This is fucking really spooky, really tell you the truth. I mean, it's pretty weird. Here it is. As you can see, these are all solid granite slabs, which I was in the granite industry, and this is a bitch to set these things, I'm going to tell you right now. This cost a lot of money to cut these things and to do this. All right, guys, check this out. There's a time capsule that's built 6 feet below this spot right here, and it doesn't tell you when it's supposed to be opened or anything right here. And wow. So this is due north this way, due east, due west, and south. They got the Babylonian cuneiform, the Egyptian
The
hieroglyphics.
writing on the weird Egyptian hieroglyphics stands for "Let these guide stones be an age of reason."
Yeah.
The holes do this. They do
Channel through stone indicates celestial pole. The horizontal slot indicates annual travel of the sun. And the sunbeam through the capstone marks noontime throughout the year.
They
So that little
misspelled
slot.
pseudonym.
Yeah. Oh, they did.
It's like a typo. Physical data right
For
here.
as much money as they paid the granite company, Georgia Granite Company did this, right? I remember some guys that worked for there. They worked on this deal. They told me it was fucked up.
Alberton Granite Museum and Exhibit, Alberton, Georgia.
Yep.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Wonder what's in the time capsule.
Yeah, I'd like to know. Why don't they have a date when it's supposed to be opened? You know?
Yeah. That's stupid.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Maintain humanity under 500 million. So, how many people we got to kill?
We gotta kill a lot of people.
Well, Monsanto's doing a good job. Maybe Monsanto, maybe they did this. Yeah, it's a good possibility. Who knows? But they want to
Maybe.
kill plenty of people. Here we go.
We just know that they're killing a lot of people.
Here we
That's
go.
all.
Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Okay, well, that's eugenics. So who's the head of eugenics right now, Scotty? Bill Gates? Seriously? Pretty much.
There's no eugenics anymore.
Well, I mean, okay, here we go. What else we got here? Unite humanity with a living new language.
It's like Bible stuff.
There we go. The Babylon, right?
Higher Babylon.
There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason.
Get rid of all your passion, get rid of all your faith, and get rid of all your old traditions with reason.
Well, that might be good. What do you think?
Sounds like you're a robot.
Well, I mean, but some of the old-fashioned stuff and some of
passion's important.
well, passion we got to have, you know. So I mean, we you know.
It says to become a robot and get rid of everything that we ever were.
But I mean, some of the old traditions are pretty
Some of them are
fucking lame. Okay, but I mean, some are okay with tempered reason. Okay, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Oh,
Okay,
isn't that what America was all about? Weren't we supposed to be free?
It's just telling you what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go from there. Okay, let's see. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Isn't that kind of like New World Order kind of thing? Huh? Isn't that like the United Nations?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the UN right
There we go, the United Nations. There we go. Maybe they built it. Okay, let's see. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Now that I agree with. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Avoid petty laws. Fuck yeah. And the useless officials. I mean, do you know any officials that aren't useless? Let's get rid of them. There we go. All right. Balance personal rights with social duties. Okay, come on now.
Sounds like Russia communist mode,
I mean,
Soviet Russia happening. Social duties.
Yes, let's get our social duties, huh? Okay.
Nazi Germany.
Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. That sounds pretty fucking...
That just sounds like it's thrown in there to sound like you're romance or something.
Yeah,
Sounds so
okay.
stupid.
All right, well, I mean, we can believe in that.
They
though,
could
you
just-
know, we can prize truth, yes, we prize truth,
They could
beauty,
just say-
love, yes.
Prize good things.
Okay, all right.
Stuff.
Well, I like I like the next one here. Be not a cancer on the earth. Okay, I can agree with that. Let's try not to be cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Well, I don't know. How many times have we traveled across the country? I think there's plenty of nature still left, isn't there?
Lots of it, but
I mean, I think there's a lot of nature still left. So, I don't know.
Nature.
What do you think? Well, there it is. Pretty bizarre. Guys, I just want to let you know one thing. Each one of these blocks right here weigh 25,000 pounds. Okay, so 25,000 pounds each, and it cost a lot of money.
Just to get an idea of how
Yeah.
big they are.
It's a lot of money to build these things, man. So who the hell did this, and why?
In our new world order, I'm telling you that until you understand the laws, the symbols, the emblems, what these words mean, you're never going to suspect how far gone we really are. Did you know, for instance, that your birth certificate is a security on the stock exchange in the New York stock market? Did you know that? Because if you order your birth certificate, get a new one. Order your birth certificate. It'll only cost you, sometimes it's free. It'll only cost you a few dollars. Order your birth certificate. On your birth certificate, all birth certificates in this country, on the bottom, it will tell you this is printed on security papers. Do not accept it not on full color security paper. Then on the right-hand corner, you will always have a series of numbers, red numbers, printed on the birth certificate. Those numbers are a security stock exchange number on the World Stock Exchange. You go to any good stock office and ask them, check these numbers in your computer and see how much your stock is worth, the certificate. And they will check it on the New York Stock Exchange and find your birth certificate is a stock on the stock exchange in America. Why? Because you are worth money to the international bank that bought you in 1930. We need to wake up. This is serious stuff.
Goal really has been to give the folks on the other side, so to speak, the reason, the evidence to find the incentive to make spiritual change. The time is drawn to hand, it appears to me, on the horizon of time, my lifetime. And that last bell might sound, and there'll be no more time for repentance, no more time for correction of ways, no more recourse of navigation. The way that an individual has chosen to go, the contracts they've signed, the oaths they've taken, the bonds they've braided and bound themselves with, if it's found out in this time that those ties go to that subject called destruction, things are not going to go well for them, and really, you have to pity them. When I look at these actors, some of them know what they're doing, some of them don't. I used to kind of laugh at them and make fun of them, but really it's a sad state of affairs. How low must it be inside of somebody who raids their brother, who pillages and plunders their brother and his home, his children, his wife, their jobs, who turns their brother and his family out of their homes, who intentionally lies to them through banking contracts, through employment, through taxes, who engineers massive Ponzi schemes called corporate frauds, the U.S. spoil system, gets everybody all wound up in it, makes everybody think they need to uphold it because
Vincent, you're under arrest for the violation of the Government Knows Best Act.
Martha, play something to lighten the mood.